All right, it is 10:40 Wednesday night, December 17th. The wind is howling, the rain is falling, but it's not that cold, so that's okay. Let's begin. Micron had earnings, stocks up in after hours, about $20, I think. It did close down for a fifth day, and you can see it testing the 50-day, so it looks like that's got to hold. But I have seen occasion when Micron will have good earnings and it settles up in after hours, but the next day it those gains weaken. The cautious will be cautious. Okay, what are we looking at here? Looking at my shopping list. I literally holding a bit of paper because I got to take notes, otherwise I gotta have some semblance of what the hell I'm doing. So I have a shopping list for tomorrow, which yeah, it does include silver, which of course was breaking new historic highs today. We'll get onto that in a moment. Other things I want to highlight. Okay, we'll jump from Micron to silver. We'll start with SLV on a. We'll start on a micro scale. My dear regular readers will know I bailed on that opening candle. The opening candle was actually black, but just after I sold it, turned positive again, and it went up. It did come back and it tested. It briefly broke below where I sold it, but then it resumed upwards again, and that was despite the main market. Um, the afternoon price action again on a 5 minute. I wouldn't I wouldn't make too much of it. What I would say is when you do get when I do get a gap up, I'm like, look, it was a pretty nice gap, and I'm like, I'm up a chunk of money. I'm gonna walk away. I'm done for the day. That'll do, right? Because I bought yesterday when I bought yesterday around 50, I don't know, 57.50. And I sold around here, 59, 59.20-ish. That's all right. Missed out on this, right? But hey, that's okay. Let's just quickly move along to the 15-minute, which is more professionally marked up. See, there's the opening gap, which we can see it was briefly tagged there, but does that even count? What I'm hoping for is that Thursday, if the market gets knocked lower, maybe we could see a sporadic cooling wave in silver, and silver can get down to maybe 58 and a half. Well, I still be come down to 58 and a half to 58 evens. Big support around 58. I don't see any realistic reason why we should expect anything below 58. But we might, I think there's a reasonable good chance of we'll come down and, you know, maybe come down to 58 and a half, which would make for a comfortable buyback. I'd be fine buying back anywhere in middle of yellow gap. I mean, if I have to, I'll buy somewhere up here, but I won't chase it. If it gaps up tomorrow, then I leave it alone. So that's a 15-minute. And of course, there's this orange gap, but that doesn't look realistic. We can forget about that, right? Let's jump to a 60-minute, which, these cycles do conflict a little bit. So we're overbought, but hey. I will say on a cyclical basis, we did weaken for 3 hours, and we could, if we gap down at the opening candle will go to there, and then the 10 o'clock candle will turn negative, which offers downside into around, maybe half 10, 11 o'clock. So if I was going to be buying back, I want to be buying back when the little MACD line is somewhere around here. And again, you can see the gap there, today's gap red, and then there's a secondary gap there, but I don't see yellow gap possible. 58 and a half, 58. Again, this is SLV, not commodity silver. Look how far this gap is now. Way, it's like it's over $11 down. There's no way we're going to go to that. On a daily chart, I mean, look at that. I did say yesterday, what was structure? A little micro bull flag, which played out. So again, well, at most, maybe we'll come back to tag the gap before going up again. Look at volume. Actually, volume today was double. Tuesday volume was it Tuesday? God, what's today? Today's Wednesday. Wednesday's volume was double Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday was really a dead day. Tuesday was a good day to be buying because the market was quiet. You don't really you don't want to be buying on hysteria spikes. That's not a good. I mean, there's a hysteria panic. There's capitulation in the 26s. That would have been a buy. That one, not really. All right, silver itself, according to the stock chart, silver had a new historic high of 66.59. Remember what I said a week ago? I've been saying it every day. 670 to 75 looks realistic by mid-January. We could be printed $70 next week. I mean, we could even print it tomorrow. I don't think we will, but I think we could definitely print $70 before Santa Claus delivers, which isn't far away. I mean, literally, we only have what 5.5 trading days until Christmas. Wow, it's not much, is it? So we only have what two, 5.5, and another three. We have 8.5 trading days left of the year. 8.5. That's it. Wow. Yes, the year is about over. Oh my God. But yeah, silver just powering up. Again, I could spend hours just droning on about the fact of structure is a giant bullish pennant which is playing out. We could go for a couple of months, right? The size of the pennant gives credence to the notion we go up easily into January, maybe February, March. I don't know. But anyone trying to short this is clinically insane. Let's move on to gold. Otherwise, this video is going to be about 12 hours long, and I don't have time. Nobody's going to listen to that. Gold, I mean, look, up 42, officially up $42.49, 1% on the day. 43, 46. Look, we're going to break a new historic high, right? 43.81. Once we go past that, 4,400, 4,500. And then you got to wonder, this pennant, which it's not marked on here, but it's a giant bullish pennant. Uh, we can easily hit 5K in Q1. That would make for a nice short-term high. So there's the pennant. You can see it. I've marked it on GLD. I remember those. Yeah, those free. We had free black candles, but I was dismissive of it because structure was also a bull flag, which did play out today. And today's candle is not a black candle. Ironically, I think there's a chance that gold might come down to the 10 of May tomorrow. Maybe we could be down. We could be down 40, $50 tomorrow. That's my hope. It's a vain hope, and I'm biased. And I'm biased because I want to buy back silver, which I sold this morning. Looking at the hourly momentum chart for gold, it's neutral. There's nothing to be said there. All right, so gold, silver, we know they're going up on a midterm basis, long-term basis. Okay, we want to look at Costco and Google. Okay, let's start with that one. Costco settled up 0.3%. So yesterday's candle was a spiky hollow red reversal, which did play out, but I mean, look, it's not great, is it? It's it's a tiny gain, and this is, I mean, it's relative midterm horror from June. I mean, you can say it's oversold, well, borderline oversold. RSI is 33, but it's been that way many times, and it just keeps rolling over. You can see where it stalled at the 50-day. There. It's just this isn't good. I mean, it's cheaper than what it was, but the, the far better alternative is Walmart. That's the valuation areas. And look at this one. I mean, they're very similar in terms of corporate profitability. They're very similar. Look at this. Look at this. You have a reversal candle from above the 200 day, and it came back and back tested, and off we go again. And now we literally I didn't even notice, but I guess Monday was an historic high for Walmart. Tuesday was down. Today was fractionally up. But yeah, Walmart's a Dow component. I would always favor a Dow component above anything else, partly for liquidity reasons. Google, yeah, that's not pretty, is it? Down 3%. In fact, that's the fourth day down. It's mostly just in line with the main market. Next support is the 50-day 284. So we could drop $12 tomorrow. That would be another 4%. And no, I do not expect Orange Gap to be tagged. That does not look realistic at all. Again, I would only be concerned if we go one under the 50-day and take out that low. Call it, what is that low? 270. 270. Yeah. If we break 270, then target would be 226, but that does not look likely. All right, well, next. I'm going to indulge myself with two of my key stocks, which I think are important. I think these two stocks, Deckers and United Health, they're telling me where we're going next year. I don't even call it crazy intuition, just plain wrong, whatever. But I mean, look, Deckers yesterday tested a 200-day. Today it was just cooling back, right? That's okay. It's overbought. It's just cooling back. Can go up every day. But when this, and I believe it will, when this breaks above 106, which is the 200-day, soft target is 125. My primary target for next year will be 150. 150 is like 48% up. That's a good trade in there. I think we could even be printing that. I certainly think 125 is viable in January, right? So in case you're wondering, I'm looking at the February 110 calls. Yeah, they were roughly trading for $600 a contract. I'd want at least February. Anything short of time frame than that would be uh, madness. But yeah, Decker looks poised for a breakout. Actually, I will say, because Nike has earnings tomorrow, and I was thinking like, because I was even thinking about buying Deckers tomorrow, but I'm like, hang on, look, Nike has earnings, right? I mean, cyclically, Nike's rolling over again. So the setup means bearish. Nike settled the day down 2%. Now, clearly, that's partly main market, right? It maxed out 69s back under the 200-day. And look, in theory, Nike could easily be printing $60 in after hours on Thursday with earnings. A lot of support there around. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. I should, if I was charting this one, I would put a gigantic line around the 58s, 58s, 59s, massive support. But again, if Nike is down on earnings, then Deckers is going to get whacked and dragged down early Friday as well. So, as someone who is thinking about buying some calls in Deckers, I'm thinking, do I want to be buying Deckers on Thursday morning? I'm like, no, I really shouldn't be doing that. That's a don't do it. I'm gonna write that down right now because if I don't, I'm gonna forget about that. Like, I'm literally gonna write down no and then put Nike stock ticker next to it. There we done. Oh, there's a lot to be said for paper reminders, especially if you have your ideas late at night. But yeah, I like Deckers, but if Nike's down, Deckers is gonna get whacked down in sympathy. So, I mean, actually, from my perspective, I want Nike to miss or at least have a maybe weak guidance. That will knock Deckers down on Friday. I could buy Deckers either on Friday or maybe wait until, next week, next Monday, Tuesday. So yeah, let's hope Nike goes down, drag down Deckers. What else? United Health is my other signal stock. Yeah, United Health was down 0.8%. That's just mostly in line with the main market. Volume was low today. I mean, like it's just down for a third day, right? You can see it's stuck under the 200 day. Very similar setup to to Deckers. Similar structure, sort of. Not quite as Deckers is more bullish, but when it breaks above a 200 day, which is 351, green gap. Oh yeah, that will be my target for not for January. January is not enough. It doesn't look likely. I guess it could if earnings. I don't know. They could do it. I guess we could have green gap in. I don't know when earnings are. I guess earnings will be late January. Yeah, probably. Yeah, United Health earnings will be either late January or early Feb. But anyway, I do expect this one to have a bullish breakout. And again, I'm looking for February calls. Uh, if I bought February calls now and the stock went to say three, let's say 380. What I would do is I'd sell half and then roll out the rest to like March or April. But yeah, this one looks interesting. Any other miscellaneous? There's a lot of stuff. I could go through this for hours, but let's try and keep a lid on some of this. Um, Scrolling through, what have we got? Thinking about Disney. What did KKR do? KKR was down for a fourth day. That's just a retrace of recent upside. It's nothing there. Oh yeah, Netflix of course is recommending that shareholders reject the Paramount bid. Netflix was up on that, although I mean look at that. Look at that candle. That's not good. That is a black candle at the 10 MA and it's spiky. See the spike? The spike gives credence to the notion that this candle, we're going to go down tomorrow on Netflix. And what is structure? What is structure? Structure is a bear flag, which suggests that we're going to take out the 92s. Not necessarily tomorrow, although we're only talking about $2 down. So in theory, I think Netflix breaks that, which would confirm the flag, and down we go. This is all. Look at these are all bear flags, right? There's one now. There's a bigger one there. But yeah, it's still stepping down. What else? Tesla. Oh yeah. Wow. So Tesla printed a new historic high today or this morning. 495, settled down 4.5% though. Bearish engulfing candle. So yes, yesterday had a bullish engulfing candle. That played out because we did print a new high. Today's candle's bearish engulfing, which leans red for Thursday, at least partly Thursday. The valuation is ridiculous though. I'm thinking of Palantir. Palantir was down 5.5%. It's not quite a bearish engulfing candle, but it definitely leans bearish for part of Thursday. And because we have Nvidia. Nvidia was down 3.8%. I mean, that's not a pretty candle, right? We closed right at the low. We haven't taken out that low, the 169s, but I mean, look, there's the 200-day 156s. Now that doesn't look viable tomorrow, but it looks possible on either Friday or next Monday. RSI is 37. We're not oversold yet, but so we'll probably have another. I mean, we're going to break a little bit lower, aren't we? I mean, that magnet, if we do get down there, I would look for a hell of a reversal candle from it. The buyers will be piling into that. What else? What's the dollar doing on a monthly? It's just under the 100 threshold, right? Yeah, I mean, look at it. Dollar's 98.40. It's stored. And look, you can argue that structure's a bear flag. If it is a bear flag and the dollar comes down to 88 or so, that would be way bullish for gold, silver, and equities to some degree. If the currency is weaker, it generally propels most asset prices up. And of course, we had a new cycle low in oil today, right? We had the 50. Correction, that was yesterday. I'm thinking of yesterday. 56. Yeah, we had 56s today. Of course, that was bouncing on Trump, Venezuela. Yeah, we had 54.98 yesterday. But look, it's not great, is it? It's just grinding down from the 78s in June. Look at that. What the hell happened in June? I don't even remember. What happened in June? What was that about? I mean, seriously, what was that about? I haven't. I would have to dig back through my own post and figure out why that was. Like, I have no memory. I have no memory of that. Oh no! Yeah, that was a hell of a day. $78, and then like 64 the next day. Was that a Fed day? Was that what it was? Anyway, oil's bearish still. Oh, look, and it's like, but that's a bullish thing for the U.S. and global economy. The winter is effectively here, but nat gas 411. Look at it on a monthly. God, I love my monthly charts. Look at that. So it's 154 year and a half, almost 2 years ago. Last couple of months have been up. Yeah, we got to 5-ish. But you can see we typically stall around 450-ish. All right. Look at this. It's a it's a great example. I don't know why, but the market gravitates around this level. It gets stuck. So not 5, but around 450-ish. And look, it goes back many, many years. All the way along here. Even there, that spike was from around that threshold. But not many people care about nat gas, so I really shouldn't be focused on it too much either. Okay, actually, we didn't look at the S&P. It's on my blog, but still, I should mention it. So yeah, S&P was down 1.2% on the day. Daily momentum is increasingly negative. Look, this is clearly going to tick down again tomorrow, right? I don't know whether we'll be down here or maybe we'll just start to level out. But today's candle was technically bearish engulfing, and yesterday's candle was bullish. Actually, it was a reversal candle, and it did play out. In the first few minutes, we actually did break a little bit higher and then swung low. Of course, we're below the 50-day. And then there is this little red gap here that starts in the 66.30s. If we're down 90 points tomorrow, red gap, that would be a interesting level to be buying almost anything and everything on the premise of resuming upwards into January, into and across January and into Feb. So I'm looking to buy Deckers and United Health, and if that would be 66.30s either tomorrow or Friday, or maybe Monday. It doesn't really matter, but Clearly, that's not a pretty candle. We're going down tomorrow, right? I don't know how much. Maybe we only go down another 20 points, but in theory, this is a magnet. The market's going to be drawn down to that level. And conversely, in terms of VIX, VIX was stuck today, but it did get a bullish engulfing candle. You got to think the natural magnet will be the 20 threshold. Note that the upper Bollinger's coming down. That'll be around 20 actually in about next Monday, Tuesday. So I just don't expect anything sustained above 20. We could be printing 19 or 20 tomorrow, briefly, and we should roll over again into early January. It's kind of scary when I look at this chart, how close the end of the year is now. We're just talking about 8.5 trading days to go. That's it. So yeah, bullish bullish VIX tomorrow, at least at the open, and bearish equities. And what else? What should we end with? Hmm. There's so many stocks. Oh my God. What did the mouse do? Mouse was down 0.9%. Yeah, it's just basically in line with the main market. Oh yeah, I did update my ET chart today because there was I added a key price threshold. Look at this. Energy transfer was actually up on the day, partly because of oil, but I mean, again, I would accept the fact that broadly it's just churning around. But look at this price threshold. Look at this. 1591, 1588. And it loves to hold that level. 8% yield. What's not to like? All right, I'm going to wind things up with one final little glimpse of silver because this is what I'm going to be looking to do tomorrow. I mean, I sold this morning for a nice profit. I'm going to hope if silver, let's be quite clear on this. If silver opens up, I am not getting involved. I will not chase this damn thing higher. I cannot stomach doing that. Uh-uh. But if silver opens down, I'm gonna hope. I'm gonna hope tomorrow. I will. One thing I haven't don't normally say, but I try not to ever look at overnight futures because it's just like no, don't do it. So when I log onto my screen tomorrow, I'm gonna hope that I log in and see that silver's down. I don't know, 2.5%. That would be something. Um, Anything more than 3 would be a bonus because that would just means we're somewhere in the mid 58s. That makes for a pretty comfortable buyback. That would even be below my exit yesterday or this morning rather. And yeah, silver's rough. Oh, SLV's roughly was it $5 or $6 out of sync with commodity silver. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I want this down tomorrow morning. I want to buy this back and then probably hold it into next week. I'm not sure how much I want to buy back though. Maybe just a little bit. I don't know. I mean, in theory, I should be really pushing it into January, but I'm getting twitchy. It's you know this morning was just easy because I could just exit on a gap up, and that made for like the easiest of exits. It's like guaranteed profit, no concerns. So yeah, give me silver down tomorrow. That would probably be helped if the main market was down. I didn't mention, but yeah, we do have two news stories, two concerns, right? We have Trump, Venezuela, because Trump's going to do his little address to the nation tonight at 2 a.m. my time. I guess I'll watch that live, I guess. And then we do have a CPI data tomorrow. So even regardless of whatever Trump says tonight, we have the inflation data tomorrow morning at 8:30. So you could wake up when the S&P is up 20 points But by the time the market opens, we could be down 1%, right? In which case we'll be maybe silver gets whacked as well briefly. That's my hope. I mean, ideally, look at this. Look at this drop. This was Friday's drop, right? Yeah. Yeah. Black opening black candle, and then smashed into 11 o'clock. Then it churned, gapped up. Yeah. Got to be bullish silver on a multi-year outlook. I haven't even got around to watching. There were two videos today. One was on Kitco. Haven't watched it, and another one was actually I don't even remember which ones they were, but it was two silver videos. Go dig around. If you're a subscriber, you can see them on my blog. They're listed. But two people, including Peter Schiff, of course. Um, I haven't watched the video, but I'm pretty sure he'd probably be calling for $100 silver, which I think is possible in January. We could see $100 silver in January, which would be insane. But you know, the trend is up almost every day, and we get these little sporadic cooling waves. So if you know if silver's whacked down tomorrow briefly, like I'm back in there. To me, it's just the most obvious trade. So we have an interesting evening ahead with Trump doing his little speech. Although it could be on something completely out left field. You never know with that guy. And we have CPI in the early morning. In theory, on balance, we should close. We should open red tomorrow, and maybe floor by 11 o'clock. God, I hope silver's down. I would be annoyed if it gaps up to $70 or something ridiculous. I'm guessing that won't happen, but you know, you never know. In theory, like I'm actually gonna end on the 15-minute chart because this when I look at this 15-minute chart, gap up, getting tired, right? I think we're gonna gap back down into this somewhere in the mid 58s. That's for me. That's a comfortable buyback, especially if it's below my selling level this morning. Again, the lower the better, right? 50 anything sub 58 is not viable. Anyway, I'm repeating myself. Have a good evening, and let's hope for a. It should be a pretty dynamic Thursday. Should be a red one. On that note, good night.